Joining me now is the Washington Post assistant managing editor, Bob Woodward. He is the author of the audiobook, The Trump Tapes. Bob, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
I want to ask you about the attack on Paul Pelosi first.
Certainly, obviously, awful act, and you can't prejudge who this person is who did it, what the motive is, but I think it's reasonable and necessary to step back and ask the question, what sort of climate of violence has been created in this country? And the answer, and you could play tapes of Donald Trump as candidate and president urging people on in a violent way. And now, you can't trace, would be unfair to trace that to this act, but we create a climate as politicians, citizens, everyone, the press also. And the climate is violence. Well, look at January 6th. Look at what some people say, oh, it was just a peaceful, protest. You just have to look and see the video of it. So somebody needs to remedy this. I don't know who it's going to be or how it's done, but what happened to Paul Pelosi is abhorrent, and it stems, or it is made more possible by this climate that has been created.
So from preliminary reporting, it seems, according to Ben Collins, who's been going through this man's social media, that he subscribes to a lot of conspiracy. And one of the conspiracies that our law enforcement is so concerned about is the conspiracy that the election was stolen and the threats it's inspired. We've spent the whole show talking about this. 48 minutes just showed a little bit from Pennsylvania and Arizona and what poll workers are worried about, what voters are worried about in those areas, what they've already experienced. And this conspiracy that the election was stolen has been pushed by Donald Trump. We just played audio from a conversation that you were having with him about his hold over the Republican Party. He says they'd be nothing without me. And because of Donald Trump's pushing of this conspiracy, the Republican Party largely pushes this conspiracy. How do you break free from that? How does the country break free from that when so many of our elected officials or leaders are coming out and spreading it?
A panel of brave people are going to have to put all the pieces together. And I think the question needs to be asked, what's the road back? And the road back involves leadership, people coming in and saying this is unacceptable. This is so what happened January 6th is so out of the reasonable path in this country of dealing with elections, disputed elections, controversial elections. And so the answer is lots of work to be done by everyone, but let's not make a premature judgment because somebody was looking at conspiracy theories on the media or on the internet. So we got to be patient.
Yeah.
But the leaders in all parties need to step up and say, this is intolerable.
Yeah, and that's a good reminder. Let's wait for officials to give us the final word on motivation. We can tell you about the reporting we've gathered, and we can tell you about the concerns and the context and the environment we're living in, but let's wait for a final determination. It is very clear that there are a lot of people who are in elected positions who are certainly scared right now about this environment. This new audiobook that you're out with, to go back to that, in 20 conversations with the former president, largely went into your book, Rage. What is your big takeaway, Bob, in having so much interaction with him?
Well, first of all, what the January 6th House Committee has demonstrated, Trump does not believe in democracy. Clearly, he lost. Bob Costa, in our book Peril, we investigated these claims from Trump supporters, and they totally collapsed. They do not exist. My other takeaway is, and this is the tragedy, Trump, when this 9-month period, he was the president, the chief executive, and I could call him and he would call me. He does not understand the presidency, does not understand the obligations that come with being president to the people, to protect the people, as he told me. And in terms of the virus, I discovered in re-listening to these tapes that he concealed the warning he got. He lied about it. He kept saying, "Oh, everything's going to be fine. The virus is going to go away," and he had the experts telling him, "No, that's not the way it is." What a sad situation for the country. I think when you look at it, and if you listen to all of this, you will see that his negligence was criminal. He could have taken what he was told and just shared it with the public, and he somehow had this idea that he should play it down, as he told me, and not create a panic. One of the things we learn as journalists over the years, in my case 50 years, the American people don't panic if they're led and if they're told the truth.